My name is Lena, and for as long as I've been married, I've shared my home with two people: the man I love, Daniel, and the woman who raised him, my mother-in-law, Margaret. Some days, it felt like the three of us lived inside one heartbeat. Other days, it felt like I was the extra person in my own home. Before we married, Daniel used to tell me, "My mom is gentle. You'll love her." And I believed him. I imagined a soft-spoken older lady who would smile at me and say things like, "Eat more, dear," or "You're like a daughter to me now." But the first day I moved into their home, I understood something important. Living with someone is not the same as visiting them. Margaret greeted me with a polite nod, nothing unfriendly, just distant, as if she had placed a careful wall around herself. She showed me my room, the kitchen, and the small patio where she liked to dry herbs. Her voice stayed calm, but her eyes noticed everything. That night, Daniel held my hand and whispered, "She just needs time." I nodded, pretending I believed him. But inside, I felt the first drop of fear that maybe love wasn't enough to guarantee a peaceful home. Living with Margaret meant learning a new rhythm, her rhythm. She woke up before sunrise. She disliked noisy slippers. She preferred everything folded her way. She had specific rules for making tea, organizing cupboards, and even how the laundry should be hung. Once, I placed a bowl in the wrong cabinet, and she looked at me as if I had broken something precious. Another time, I seasoned a soup differently, and she quietly poured it out and remade it from scratch. She wasn't cruel. She never shouted. But her silence had sharp edges. Daniel tried to be the bridge between us. "Mom doesn't mean anything bad," he told me one evening as we washed dishes together. "She's just used to things being a certain way." "And what about me?" I whispered. "Who is used to me?" He didn't have an answer. You can live with two other people and still feel completely alone. Some days, Margaret and I exchanged only a few polite words. She would walk past me like a breeze, present but untouchable. I tried helping her cook. She gently took the utensils from my hands. I tried washing the laundry. She redid it afterward. I placed a vase of fresh flowers in the living room once, and when I returned from the market later, the vase was gone. There were nights when I sat on the edge of my bed and silently asked myself, was I a guest here? A burden? A mistake? But then there were surprising moments, like when she handed me a warm cup of tea, or placed an extra slice of pear on my plate, or asked if work had been tiring. Those small moments felt like tiny lights in a long hallway. I held on to them. The turning point came on an ordinary weeknight. I had just come home from work, exhausted, carrying groceries. I stepped into the kitchen to find Margaret standing by the counter, holding the fish I had bought, staring at it suspiciously. "This fish isn't fresh," she said. "It is fresh," I replied softly. "I bought it just now." "It smells off," she insisted, turning away. Something in me, something tired and invisible, finally broke. "I'm trying," I said, my voice trembling. "Every day I try to do things right. But no matter what I do, it's never good enough for you." Margaret didn't move. She didn't speak. Daniel walked in a moment later, confused. "What's wrong?" I looked at him, tears already filling my eyes. "I feel like I don't belong in this house. I feel like I'm living someone else's life." Then Margaret spoke quietly, not sharp, not angry, just unexpectedly honest. "I know you're trying," she said without turning, "but it's hard for me too." For a moment, the whole room seemed to breathe. Later that night, Margaret knocked gently on my door. She didn't enter until I told her she could. She sat on the edge of the bed, looking smaller than usual. "When I married Daniel's father," she said, "I lived with my mother-in-law too. She corrected everything I did. She watched me. She judged me." I felt trapped. I blinked at her. I had never imagined her young and afraid. "I promised myself I wouldn't be like her," she continued softly. "But habits repeat themselves without meaning to." She looked at me, her eyes tired but sincere. "I don't dislike you, Lena. I worry. I'm afraid of change. Afraid of becoming unnecessary." Her words stunned me. She wasn't controlling because she hated me. She was controlling because she was afraid. "I don't want to replace you," I whispered. "I just want to live with you peacefully." For the first time, she gave me a small, warm smile. Things didn't transform overnight, but the air in the house slowly shifted. Margaret began allowing me to cook small dishes, simple soups, salads, eggs. At first, she hovered nearby, watching carefully. Then she gradually relaxed, sometimes even nodding approvingly. We started sharing chores instead of silently competing over them. We talked more about the weather, family memories, silly neighborhood gossip. One afternoon, she asked, "How did you learn to make that lemon chicken? It tastes like my sister's recipe." I laughed. "I learned it online." She clicked her tongue. "Young people these days." I smiled. She was teasing me that alone meant progress. One morning, Margaret woke up feeling dizzy and feverish. She tried to hide it, insisting she was fine, but when she nearly fainted in the kitchen, I caught her just in time. I helped her lie down, brought medicine, and cooked porridge while Daniel hurried home. All day, she leaned on me. She trusted me. As I placed a warm towel on her forehead, she gently squeezed my hand. "You take care of me like a daughter," she whispered. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "And you treat me like family." As months passed, our home changed in small, beautiful ways. We learned to share space rather than fight for it. We learned to listen instead of assume. We learned that family isn't perfect, it's something you build slowly with patience. One evening over dinner, Daniel looked at us laughing at a silly story and smiled proudly. "You two get along so well now," he said. Margaret lifted her chin. "Of course. We're both very sensible women." I laughed. "Extremely sensible." She rolled her eyes, but her smile stayed. These days, when I wake up, I don't feel like a stranger in the house. I feel grounded. I feel included. I feel like I'm part of a family that was challenging at first, but worth the effort. I learned that living with a mother-in-law isn't easy. It's a balance of patience, respect, understanding, and tiny acts of kindness. Some days are smooth. Some days are difficult. But when I see Margaret tending her herbs on the patio or humming old songs while stirring a pot on the stove, I feel something warm inside. Not just peace, gratitude. Because behind every difficult mother-in-law is a story we haven't heard yet. And behind every overwhelmed wife is someone simply trying to belong. I used to think this house had 3 people. Now I know it has one family.